5 signs an avoidant still loves you but is too scared to say it. Love isn't always loud. Sometimes it hides in silence, in hesitation, in the small, quiet gestures that never quite say what the heart feels. Especially when it comes to avoidant attachment types, people who crave closeness but fear vulnerability. Love becomes a secret war between desire and fear. If you've ever dealt with someone who pulled away when things got emotionally intimate, you know the confusion that comes with trying to decode their heart. They might never tell you they love you. They might not chase you or beg you to stay. But that doesn't mean they don't feel it. In fact, sometimes the avoidant still loves you deeply, more than even they can admit. So today we're diving into 5 powerful signs that an avoidant still loves you, but is just too scared to say it. This isn't about wishful thinking, it's about understanding the silent language of love from someone who doesn't know how to speak it openly. Sign 1. They stay emotionally tethered, even from a distance. Avoidants are masters of physical and emotional distance. But here's what you need to notice. They may not reach out, but they never fully let go. They might unfollow you on social media, but they still watch your stories. They may stop texting, but they hold on to your belongings. They may avoid deep conversations, but they remember small, intimate details about your life that you didn't even expect them to. This emotional tether is how an avoidant says, "I still care," without actually saying it. They're scared of being overwhelmed by closeness, so they regulate their love by keeping it at arm's length. But the cord is still there. You might feel like they're gone, but they're emotionally lurking, checking in silently, hovering on the edge of your world, hoping you don't forget them. When an avoidant truly moves on, they cut the cord completely. But when they still love you, that emotional string stays tied, even if they're hiding behind silence. Sign 2. They act cold, but their eyes give them away. Avoidants have perfected the art of emotional shutdown. They might say cold things. They might act indifferent or even seem annoyed by your presence. But the truth is, the more they love you, the more they try to suppress those feelings because to them, vulnerability equals danger. Yet there's always one thing they can't control: their eyes. When they look at you, really look at you, there's softness, there's longing, there's pain. You may catch it in fleeting moments, in a quiet pause, in the way they glance at you when you're not looking, or in how they light up when you laugh, then quickly turn away to hide it. Avoidants are not cold people. They are scared people, scared of being rejected, scared of losing control, scared of needing someone too much. So they wear a mask of indifference, but love always leaks through the cracks. Pay attention to the cracks. That's where the truth lives. Sign 3. They create strange excuses to stay connected. If they don't love you anymore, they'll leave fully. But when they still love you and are just too scared to say it, they'll invent bizarre, unnecessary excuses to stay connected. Maybe they message you about something random, like asking where you bought a sweater 6 months ago. Maybe they bring up an old inside joke out of nowhere. Maybe they send you a meme that only you two would understand. This is not coincidence. It's not small talk. It's an avoidance way of saying, "I miss you," without ever saying it. They're scared that if they come on too strong, they'll lose you, or worse, feel rejected. So they slide in sideways through safe, meaningless, seeming moments, trying to gauge if it's still safe to love you. These random contacts are their version of reaching out. It's not romantic, it's not poetic, but for them, it's vulnerable. If they didn't care, they wouldn't bother. Their silence wouldn't be sprinkled with breadcrumbs. But when you start seeing these soft nudges, it's a sign. The love didn't leave, it's just hiding in a trench, waiting for safety. Sign 4. They get jealous, but they try to pretend they're not. Jealousy is the avoidant's emotional tell. They may not confess love, but when they see you getting close to someone else, the fear of losing you rips through their armor. You might notice a change in their energy. Maybe they suddenly start replying faster, or they casually ask who you're spending time with. Maybe they mock the person you're talking to or subtly downplay them. They might pretend to be amused, but underneath, they're boiling. Why? Because avoidants want love, but they want to feel in control of it. And when someone else steps in, their control shatters. The threat of losing you to someone who can express love more openly triggers their deepest fear, not of abandonment, but of being replaced. It becomes a silent panic. But they won't beg. They won't fight. They'll act cool. They'll pretend like it doesn't bother them. But everything in their energy will shift. And if you look closely, you'll see the truth. They still love you, and the idea of losing you terrifies them. Sign 5. They open up in moments of vulnerability, then retreat. Perhaps the most telling sign of an avoidant's hidden love is this. They have moments of unexpected openness, a night where they confess something deep, a message where they say they miss you, a call where they seem like the person you always knew was underneath. But then, like clockwork, they vanish. They retreat. They shut down. This is the avoidant love pattern. They build up the courage to step out of their emotional bunker, only to realize how terrifying it feels to be exposed. And so, they run back inside and lock the door. But that moment, the one where they opened up, is real. It's not manipulation. It's not confusion. It's love trying to breathe, even just for a second. If they didn't care, those moments wouldn't happen. They wouldn't feel safe enough to be vulnerable, even briefly. So if you've had those rare, intimate moments with them, where they said something raw, where their defenses dropped, you've seen their love. They just don't know how to live in that space consistently, yet. Now here's the thing you need to understand. Loving an avoidant is not about being patient forever. It's not about waiting in the shadows while they figure it out. You deserve reciprocal love. You deserve connection that isn't painful. But if you're trying to understand why someone who seemed to care suddenly vanished, or why they keep coming back but won't commit, it's not because they don't love you. It's because love, for them, is terrifying. It exposes every wound, every childhood fear, every part of themselves they were taught to bury. Their silence is not emptiness, it's fear. Their withdrawal is not indifference, it's protection. They love with their shields up, and sometimes they don't even realize how much they love until you're already walking away. So what can you do with this information? First, you stop chasing. That's crucial. The more you chase an avoidant, the more they run. Not because they don't like you, but because the pursuit overwhelms them. Instead, you stand still and let them come to terms with their own feelings. You create a calm, non-demanding presence that says, I'm not here to force you, but I won't be here forever. You build your own emotional safety because real love shouldn't feel like a maze. And then you watch what they do. Not what they say, but how they act when you stop trying to fix, explain, or prove. If the love is real, and many times it is, they'll feel the weight of your absence more than the pressure of your presence. And slowly they may begin to crawl toward you, not as a performance, not as a reaction, but as a choice. In the end, avoidants love deeply, so deeply that it scares them. But love that is buried too long dies. You can't pull them out of hiding, but you can choose whether you wait outside their fortress or walk toward a love that's not afraid to stand in the light. If this video resonated with you, you're not alone. Relationships with avoidance can be deeply confusing and painfully beautiful at the same time. But understanding these signs can bring you clarity and perhaps peace. If you've experienced these signs in someone you cared about, drop your story in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you want more content on how to navigate avoidant dynamics, emotional healing, and building stronger connections, hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell, and join this journey. Love isn't always loud, but it's always looking for a safe place to be heard. Thanks for watching, and remember, your peace matters more than their silence.